Top 10 countries where illegal immigrants are coming from in the UK. According to the UK government's report on irregular migration, there were 91,918 people detected arriving in the UK on small boats between January 2018 and June 2023. But where are these migrants coming from? Find out in this video. Number 10. Albania. Albanians make the dangerous decision to migrate because the living conditions in Albania, particularly in rural areas, are often harsh, with limited access to basic services like healthcare and education. In contrast, the UK offers a significantly higher standard of living, with better access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. Albania's proximity to the UK via Italy and France makes it an attractive route for undocumented immigrants. Many Albanians attempt to enter the UK via small boats or hidden in vehicles. The journey to the UK can be perilous, with many Albanians risking their lives to cross the channel. Once in the UK, many Albanian undocumented immigrants live in cramped and squalid conditions, often in shared accommodation. Some Albanians work in the UK's agricultural sector, particularly in seasonal jobs. The UK government has implemented measures to tackle undocumented immigration, including increased border security and cooperation with Albanian authorities. Despite these efforts, many Albanian undocumented immigrants continue to enter the UK, often with the help of smugglers. Number 9. Somalia. Somalia is another country where a lot of immigrants pour into the UK. While there isn't a single definitive reason for their migration, several factors contribute to their arrival. Many Somalians flee their homeland due to civil wars, poverty, and persecution. According to the Office of National Statistics, an estimated 108,000 Somali-born immigrants resided in the UK in 2018. Many of these immigrants travel through Libya and other North African countries before crossing the Mediterranean into Europe. These immigrants take up odd jobs and manage to make a better living for themselves and their families, but this is usually at the cost of placing a significant burden on the legal citizens of the country who pay taxes that enable them to access medical care and other forms of government aid. Number 8. Afghanistan. Unlike several other countries with a lot of immigrants, Afghanistan's porous borders facilitate easy exit for its citizens seeking refuge. Afghan migrants often travel to the UK via Turkey, using established smuggling routes. Smuggling networks, often linked to organized crime, play a significant role in facilitating Afghan migration to the UK. Like several other countries, Afghan migrants also attempt to enter the UK by taking small boats or hiding in vehicles. Afghanistan's limited economic opportunities and lack of job security drive are the real reasons why many leave to try and get a better life in the UK. Although it's not easy for most of them upon arrival. Most of their migrants often work in the UK's manual labour sector, including construction and agriculture. Some Afghan migrants find work in the UK's service sector, including restaurants and shops. Number 7. Iraq. The exact number of undocumented immigrants from Iraq in the UK is difficult to determine. However, they were the most commonly detected nationality, making up 21% of all small boat arrivals since 2018, followed by Albanians and Afghans. Many Iraqi migrants travel to the UK via Turkey, where they can easily obtain false passports and identification documents. From there, they make their way to the UK, often using smugglers who promise to transport them safely across the English Channel. The UK's black market economy is a significant draw for Iraqi migrants who can find work in construction, agriculture, and other sectors. However, this often comes at a cost, as many migrants face exploitation and abuse. While these jobs can provide a steady income, they often come with poor working conditions and low wages. Iraqi migrants often rely on hawala, an informal money transfer system, to send remittances back to their families in Iraq. Number 6. Sudan. Undocumented immigrants from Sudan are increasingly arriving in the UK, driven by ongoing conflict, economic instability, and human rights abuses in their home country. The UK's membership in the Dublin Regulation, which allows migrants to claim asylum in the first European country they enter, creates a loophole that Sudanese migrants can exploit. Many Sudanese migrants travel to the UK via Libya, where they board rickety boats bound for European shores. Others fly to European airports, such as Paris or Amsterdam, before making their way to the UK. Smugglers often facilitate these journeys, charging exorbitant fees for their services. The UK's reputation for tolerance and diversity attracts many Sudanese migrants who seek refuge from persecution and violence in their home country. The UK's strong economy and high standard of living also offer a significant improvement over the poverty and instability many Sudanese migrants face at home. Number 5. Eritrea. Eritrean migrants are among the largest groups of asylum seekers in the UK. Many of these migrants have fled their home country due to its repressive regime, forced conscription, and dire economic conditions. In recent years, there has been a growing trend of Eritrean migrants seeking asylum in the UK due to their sexual orientation or gender identity. Many of these migrants face persecution and violence in Eritrea, where homosexuality is criminalized. A significant number of these illegal Eritrean migrants enter the UK via the Calais jungle, a former refugee camp in northern France. From there, they attempt to cross the English Channel, often in rickety boats or hidden in lorries. Once in the UK, many Eritrean migrants are forced to live in poverty, relying on charitable organizations and community networks for support. They often struggle to access basic services, including healthcare and education. Number 4. Vietnam. Vietnamese undocumented immigrants are increasingly arriving in the UK, driven by economic opportunities and family ties. One of the primary factors facilitating their entry is the UK's thriving cannabis industry, which relies heavily on Vietnamese labour. Many Vietnamese migrants are recruited by organised crime groups to work in cannabis farms, often in exploitative conditions. Vietnamese migrants often travel to the UK via fake or stolen passports, or by hiding in lorries or shipping containers. Some also use tourist visas, which they overstay once they arrive in the UK. The UK's membership in the European single market has also created opportunities for Vietnamese migrants to enter the country via other European nations. The UK's Vietnamese community is also a significant attraction for many migrants who come to join family members or friends already established in the country. Number 3. Pakistan. The UK's geographic location, with its extensive coastline and proximity to mainland Europe, makes it an attractive destination for migrants seeking to enter the country undetected. The UK's Tier 2 visa system creates a barrier for Pakistani migrants, but they still find their way in. A significant factor contributing to the ease with which Pakistani migrants enter the UK is the country's extensive network of trafficking routes. These routes, often controlled by sophisticated organised crime groups, utilise various methods to evade detection, including the use of fake identification documents and clandestine transportation. Many Pakistani migrants travel to the UK via the Balkans, where they often encounter exploitative conditions and harsh treatment at the hands of traffickers. Upon arrival in the UK, many undocumented Pakistani migrants are drawn to urban areas, where they can easily blend in with existing communities. Number 2. Syria. The Syrian refugee crisis has led to a significant influx of undocumented immigrants into the UK. One of the primary factors facilitating their entry is the UK's well-established network of refugee support groups. While these organisations provide vital assistance to legitimate asylum seekers, they can also inadvertently create opportunities for undocumented migrants to enter the country. Many Syrian migrants travel to the UK via Turkey, where they often board ships or boats bound for European ports. Others use fake or stolen passports to board flights from countries like Egypt or Jordan. The UK's busy shipping lanes and extensive coastline make it difficult for authorities to detect and intercept migrant vessels. In the UK, undocumented Syrian migrants often find work in the shadow economy, taking on jobs that are poorly paid and lack basic protections. Some work as labourers on construction sites, while others find employment in restaurants, shops, and other small businesses. These jobs assure them of cash payment without the need for a means of identification. Although they live a poor life compared to legal citizens in the country, it still offers them something better than their country of origin. Number 1. Iran. Iranian undocumented immigrants are increasingly exploiting vulnerabilities in the UK's e-commerce industry to gain entry into the country. Many of these migrants are using fake online identities and sham businesses to obtain visas and gain entry into the UK. Once in the country, these undocumented immigrants often find work in the UK's thriving informal economy. Many work as couriers or delivery drivers for online retailers, using their fake identities to evade detection. Others work in the construction industry, taking on cash-in-hand jobs to avoid paying taxes. Compared to their lives in Iran, these undocumented immigrants often experience a significant improvement in living standards. However, they also face numerous challenges, including exploitation by unscrupulous employers and the constant threat of detention and deportation. The possibility of going through this doesn't serve as a deterrent to them, and since the chances of being detected are slim, they remain and even bring in more of their family members. We have come to the end of our video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more informative content.